And at the same time, Donald Trump could be turning a corner with a crucial Republican voting bloc. Social conservatives who initially opposed him now showing some signs that they could support the presumptive GOP nominee. Let's talk about this with our panel. Kevin McCullough is a syndicated radio host of After Hours with Kevin McCullough, and Leslie Marshall is a syndicated radio host and a Fox News contributor. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you, Heather.
So, Leslie, I'll start with you. You predicted this, that the GOP would come around, so this obviously would not surprise you.
No, it doesn't. I should have gone to Vegas with this, huh, Heather, but I didn't. You know what? I'm not surprised with this, especially among social conservatives in swing states, and Ohio being a very important swing state. But we can also look to Virginia, Iowa as two other examples where social conservatives and even evangelicals are saying, who is going to appoint a Supreme Court justice that's going to pass the litmus test with regard to certain issues? And the issue of abortion is a big one among this group. So, no, I'm not surprised, because at the end of the day, obviously, if you have a Democrat and a Republican, pretty much any Republican is going to appoint a more conservative Supreme Court justice to that court rather than a Democrat. And this is where I think Donald Trump is showing some knowledge of this politically, because he's going to put out the list of his potential Supreme Court nominees.
Yeah, Kevin, do you think this was all part of the plan to shape perhaps the candidate that they do want Trump to become?
I think so. I think that Never Trump is going to give us better Trump in the long run. And I think that I kind of part ways with other conservative talk hosts on this point, because I actually like bloody primaries. I want primaries to get really raw, because I want to see character tested under fire. And so what I think yielded Ted Cruz having such a big showing and 18 million people voting against Trump was Trump recognizing, in order to win, I've got to win over a lot of these people that are supposed to be on my side. Very smart move he's making, if it's true, that Leonard Leo of the Federalist Society is going to be his vetting chief for his Supreme Court nominees. You'll win a lot of Never Trump people back if you get Scalia after Scalia after Scalia on the Supreme Court. And if you promise to do that in advance, that's as good as anything. Ronald Reagan called it personnel is policy. Right now, Donald Trump's starting to set some policy by names he's floating out there, and they're making a lot of sense to some of the conservative people that I interact with.
Yeah, well, if you like a bloody primary, then you're loving this one, and you're probably going to love the general election as well, if today and over the weekend are looks of things to come. Leslie, what about that? Some of the names that are now being floated out there. Also, some names for a VP to run alongside him.
Well, this is, I think, where it could really make or break Donald Trump as far as somebody staying home or voting for Hillary or voting for him. I have always said all along, although I don't like his politics, Ted Cruz is a very, very intelligent man. He knows how to run a campaign. And Marco Rubio, I thought, honestly, was perhaps the best Republican. And although I don't put much stock in the polls, I think that these two people would have given Hillary a harder time than Trump. So I think he needs to have, in a sense, a Washington insider. I think he needs to have somebody with the knowledge of politics. And I think he needs somebody that is viewed more favorably within the House and the Senate by those that are GOP within the House and the Senate. So I think these would be potential examples of, I think he has to have somebody that's going to complement him. And quite frankly, that's not really easy to do. He's very different than any other candidate the GOP or any presidential election has seen.
Yeah, you know, Kevin, not only getting conservatives to coalesce behind him, the rest of the GOP to coalesce behind them, but also trying to win over some of those Bernie Sanders voters, as he has not told them to commit themselves to Hillary Clinton yet, saying that he is in it till for the long haul. So how is he going to do that?
Well, I think that Trump's natural appeal to the Sanders base is kind of self-evident. They want someone that is going to not be part of anything that's had anything to do with the current establishment. And it doesn't get more establishment than Hillary Rodham Clinton. I mean, two sessions as First Lady, a Secretary of State, Senator. She's been a part of it all. There's large questions about how the Clinton Foundation is ingratiated with foreign policy. I mean, there's all kinds of just even if it's not real, if any of this stuff looks this way, that's just a natural turnoff to the Sanders crowd. Sanders is not going to be, Sanders supporters are not going to be lined up with, you know, Tony Perkins and Penny Nance and the people that are in the social conservative movement. But they will be attracted to Trump's outsiderism on some level.
Yeah, the latest exit polling from, I think it was West Virginia, said that Sanders supporters would not back Clinton. 44% said they would vote for Trump, and 31% said neither. So we'll see what happens. Kevin, Leslie, thank you both for joining us.
Thanks, Heather.
Thanks.